In this video, I will go over everything you need to know to get by in Borderlands 3. If you're someone who's only dabbled in Borderlands before, or someone who is entirely new to the franchise, then this video is for you. As you can see on screen, everything is going to be timestamped, so you can skip ahead or back to any section you want. To kick things off, we'll cover the characters, talking about various action skills and how the skill trees work. Then we'll go on to equipment, talking about the different types, rarity and where to find good loot. In the combat section, I'll go over elemental effects and enemy types. Exploration will cover vehicles, fast travel and quests, before finally we go to Sanctuary, where I will give a guided tour of the home base. No need for any more delay, let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do when starting a playthrough of Borderlands 3 is choose a character. There are currently 4 different characters you can play as: Amara the Siren, Mose the Gunner, Flak the Beastmaster, and Zane the Operative. Each character has a trio of action skills they can choose from, powerful activated abilities that augment their combat capabilities. Additionally, each ability has a skill tree below it, which help to improve your chosen character in a variety of ways. The skill tree is split into 6 sections going down, with 1, 2, or 3 skills available for purchase at each level. Whenever you level up, you earn a skill point to spend on one of these skills. As a general rule of thumb, skills lower in the tree are more powerful, so you'll often want to focus on one skill tree more than the others. Spending 5 points in a tree unlocks the next set of skills. In order to unlock the final skill, that means you have to spend 25 points. The current level cap is 50, which yields you 48 points to spend, allowing you to reach the final skill in one tree whilst also supplementing your abilities with skills from the other 2. You also will have noticed chevron skills on the left and right of the main tree. These are augment abilities for your chosen action skill, providing additional benefits without costing you a skill point. These are all very specific to the individual characters, so let's take a closer look at one of the character skill trees. Here we have Zane, the Operative. Zane's action skills are Barrier, Digiclone, and Sentinel. The other characters can only equip one action skill at a time, however Zane may choose to replace his capacity to throw grenades with a second action skill. The Barrier skill gives Zane a deployable shield, which amps player damage when shot through, but can't be penetrated by enemy projectiles. It can also be picked up in order to charge at enemies without taking damage. Like all action skills, it has a duration of how long it lasts, and a cooldown before it can be used again. His next skill, Digiclone, summons a digital version of Zane, which will fight enemies and draw some fire. This copy cannot move from a spot where it was summoned, but, by pressing the action skill again, Zane can instantly switch places with the double, allowing you to rapidly move into or out of a fight. The final skill is Sentinel, an automated drone that will fight any nearby enemies. Although it's not all that strong on its own, it works well to keep damage on an enemy and can be upgraded with various enhancements, such as dropping grenades, a rocket salvo, and a radiation beam that weakens enemies whilst buffing Zane. As you can probably tell, action skills go a long way to deciding how a character plays, and helps to set the Borderlands franchise apart from other FPS games. There's still 3 other characters with their own action skills, but I'll leave them for you to uncover for yourself. Now, let's talk about equipment. Equipment consists of guns, shields, grenade mods, class mods, and artifacts. Guns are pretty self-explanatory. They're the weapons you'll be using to take down all manner of enemies. In total, there are 6 different types of weapons: pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, SMGs, and rocket launchers. Each has their own ammo type, so make sure to carry guns of various types so that you never completely run dry on ammo. I'd like to say that each of these weapon types works as you'd imagine, but that's definitely not the case in the Borderlands. Oftentimes you can pick up a shotgun which works long range, or a pistol that fires rockets. This is one of the best elements of the franchise, and means it's worth trying out every gun you run across, as any could end up being your new favourite. Obviously not all weapons are created equal though, and there's a couple of handy ways to get a rough idea of how good something will be. First is the rarity system. There are 5 different colours of rarity. These are as follows: White is common, green is uncommon, blue is rare, purple is epic, and orange is legendary. Most of the time, a legendary weapon will be far better than a common gun, but weapons also have levels to consider. These range from level 1 to level 50. As you might expect, these correspond to player levels. At level 1 you can only equip level 1 guns, but at level 50 you can equip level 50 or below items. If this is all a bit too complex for your liking, then there's a nice new shorthand system to work out how good a weapon is. In the top left of every item is a rating. The higher the rating, the better the item probably is. This can be very helpful for getting a rough idea of how good a weapon should be without having to delve too much into the stats. As for acquiring loot, this will happen all of the time. When enemies die, they will drop items. They can also be found in chests as you progress, and often will be part of a mission reward. In the very first mission you will receive guns, a shield, and a grenade mod. Class mods and artifacts aren't able to be equipped until you get through certain quests in the main story, and the game will notify you when they're able to be equipped. Each of these will give buffs to your character which are too numerous to go over here, but are still incredibly worthwhile. If you want to get yourself some really good loot early on, then there are a few ways to do this. First is the standard Borderlands method of farming bosses. You can go back and kill any boss you previously encountered again and again in order to get good guns from them. There are also a couple of new methods that have been added with Borderlands 3. The first is manufacturer rewards. Get 100 kills with weapons from a single manufacturer and they will send you a gun in the mail, helping to keep you equipped as you play. You can also search around each map you encounter for Typhon logs. There are 3 of these in almost every single map. Activating them gives you some lore from the very first Vault Hunter, and, after activating all of them in a zone, the location of a Typhon chest will be revealed. These will contain strong weapons for the appropriate level of the map, and are well worth hunting down as you play through if you want some strong gear on your first playthrough. If you want any additional information on loot, then Ollie Toms made this great weapon cheat sheet for Rock Paper Shotgun. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below. Having good gear is one thing, but knowing how to use it in a fight is something else entirely. As the Rock Paper Shotgun chart shows, there are various types of elemental damage in this game. Using the right element in the right fight can make a world of difference. If a gun doesn't mention an elemental type, then it's physical damage. If it has one of these symbols in the description, then it means it will also deal a form of damage over time. Fire damage is good against flesh, indicated by red health bars. Shock damage works well against shields, indicated by blue health bars. And corrosive and cryo damage work best against armour, indicated by a yellow health bar. Some enemies will have multiple health bars of different types, so be prepared to switch weapons for different damage types on the fly. As well as pure damage, the cryo and radiation damage types have bonus effects. Cryo damage will slow enemies and can even end up freezing them in place completely. Very helpful when trying to stop something from fleeing. Hitting someone enough times with a radiation-based weapon will cause them to become irradiated. When an irradiated enemy dies, they'll explode, irradiating anything close to them. This can make radiation a great damage type to use when facing off against large groups of enemies who are all in close proximity. Most enemies you come up against should be relatively easy to deal with, however there are a couple of types of enemies who can present a real challenge. Bosses tend to be individuals who are vastly superior to standard grunts. These fights often have some fanfare before them and present the greatest challenge of all. Badass enemies are tougher and stronger versions of base enemies who can show up alongside their weaker counterparts. They may not be as powerful as bosses, but they can still be a nasty surprise if unprepared. Killing badasses and bosses will provide far better loot and experience gain than the standard foes, so hunting them down can yield benefits well worth the challenge. Our penultimate section is on exploration. In Borderlands 3 you have multiple planets to explore, most of which have several different regions contained within them. To help you navigate around each area, you will have the ability to drive vehicles from an early stage. Each vehicle is customizable, not just cosmetically, but also allowing you to switch out weapons and upgrade armour. In order to unlock upgrades, you can hijack an enemy vehicle. If it shows up as blue on the minimap, then it means you'll unlock something by stealing it and returning it to a catch-a-ride station, shown on your map as a pair of keys. To steal an occupied vehicle, you simply need to get close to it and press the activate button. There are also various vehicles hidden away across levels that have unique upgrades to be unlocked. When you move close enough to one of these, a green gear symbol will show up on your map, indicating that the vehicle is being requested by your mechanic. Stealing this and returning it to a catch-a-ride station will reward you with more new parts for your vehicles, just like a hijacking would. Something else new you can do with vehicles is fast travel to them. Unlike the previous Borderlands games, in this one you can fast travel from anywhere. Each zone will have at least one fast travel point you can teleport to, as well as your personal vehicle, which you can use as a mobile fast travel point. Now that you know how to move around the world, let's point out a couple of things on the map you should look out for. The first thing to take note of are yellow exclamation marks on the map. These indicate starts of side quests, and will normally direct you to a sign or character who will have the same exclamation mark above their head. As well as completing the main story, you will want to complete as many side quests as you can. Not only do these provide more story and gameplay, but they're essential for keeping your character at a decent level and can unlock new and powerful equipment. Something which I've already touched on a little are the crew challenges. All over the map will be green diamonds with symbols in the middle of them. These indicate areas where crew members wish you to complete a specific task. These include stealing vehicles for Ellie, destroying COV propaganda for Moxie, and salvaging parts from dead claptraps for the one remaining claptrap unit. Completing these tasks can often yield bonus rewards, such as XP, cash, and even sometimes unique equipment. Across all of the Borderlands there is plenty to be spending your time doing, but sometimes you just want to relax without the fear of a psycho trying to stick a buzz axe in your head. With that in mind, let's now take you over to Live Action Sarge, who will give you all a tour of the game's home base and spaceship, Sanctuary. Thanks for that pre-recorded, Sarge. Here I am in the Sanctuary 3. This is the home hub, and when you teleport in, it will be just here. You will notice that on the left, we have a quick change station here. So the first thing we're going to test out, this is a quick change station. These are not just in Sanctuary, you'll find them on pretty much every single map, generally right next to the fast travel points. Load this up, and you can change cosmetics on your character, so heads and skins and so on, to make yourself look more terrifying. There's also emotes and various other bits. The one gameplay part is respec. You click on this, refund all points spent in skill tree for X amount of cash. The cash that it costs depends on how far you are in level, so the higher the level, the more cash you have to spend, but doing this can let you respec your skill tree. So you'll notice here I've got 10 out of 45 in blue and 3 out of 37 in the green. I can respec, and we'll do it just for demonstrational purposes. And all of a sudden, 0 out of 45, 0 out of 37, go up the menu, and look at this, I have 13 points to spend. So I will spend those quickly. Do I know what I'm doing? I don't think I actually know what I'm doing. Yes, I do. There we go, 3 and 5. 5 in there, perfect. It's 10 in there. And then I believe I also bought, 3 in that. There we go. Use the skill points back up. Excellent, and okay, the little monitor is now going to stay on screen. Now, just opposite is this. This is the lost loot machine. You activate it and you get lost loot. What lost loot is when you're out and about, you're probably not going to end up picking every single item. Could be legendary guns, could be epic grenade mods, any of the good stuff will get stored in here. You'll notice it is full, and I have this at max capacity, so let's open it up, and it shoots out a whole bunch of the loot that I failed to pick up. Which, in this case, is a lot of stuff. Now, you may notice this stuff is level 49 and 50 for the most part. This is because lost loot is actually shared across all of your characters. So despite the fact I'm only a level 15 character right now, all of the stuff that I failed to pick up on my high level 50 character is also in this machine clogging it up. So make sure to empty this thing out regularly and you get all of the good loot. Also, if you want to make lots of money on a secondary character, such as I've got here, just play for like 5-10 minutes with your main character, don't claim the lost loot, and then log in on the secondary one, because this right here is going to make me just thousands upon thousands. So yeah, that's all good stuff. And to sell this, we've got somewhere we can go, but first off, this room here, with a little 1 on it, is the player room. Here you have the bank, where you can store various items. You've got all of these slots here where you can store them. So if I'm like, oh okay, I want to save that sniper, let's say, I can store it, and all of a sudden, it is in the bank. It is no longer clogging up space in my inventory, it is just here for me to collect at a later date. Very helpful for if you've got an item which you can't use for a couple of levels. So this one, for example, would require me to be level 50. Let's say it was just level 18, it was like a few levels too high, I pop it in the bank, come back in a few levels time, it's still there, I can pick it up and use it. There is currently actually a glitch with the bank at time of recording, where if you're playing co-op and the host disconnects, there's a chance that the bank items will get deleted. So I'm not actually using the bank right now, but that glitch should be sorted very shortly, because Gearbox are aware and working on it. It might even be fixed by the time this video goes out. Now, on the opposite wall, you've also got a little display case, where you can put various bits and bobs. That isn't too important, but let's just demonstrate it very quickly here. Oh look, you can display stuff here. This is somewhere safe to keep stuff as well. This is just kind of cool. Wanted to show it off very quickly. Now, leaving the room, reorienting again, so quick change on the left, lost loot on the right. Then walk to the right side, ignore the ladder, go straight on, and here, just on this first corner from that area, is the golden chest. You can use golden keys, these are unlocked through the shift account, and you can get really good loot from these chests. It will be leveled to you, and golden keys are generally earned through like using Twitter codes and various other promotional things, but if you've got them, this is where you use them. As a general rule, I'd recommend waiting until you're max level for them, but if you're going to use them, you can use them whenever you want just to get some really good gear from that. Now, on from the golden chest, we go in here, and there's a giant face on the ground, turn to the right, and this is Marcus Munitions. Here we have some vending machines, where you can buy various grenades and the like, and also various guns. We've got Marcus himself, who's, yep, a big fan of us. You can buy bits here, and also go onto the sell menu, and sell whatever you like. So I can just sell a whole bunch of these high level things, make thousands upon thousands. It is great. The important thing, though, is this right here. Activate, and these are storage deck upgrades. And they cost a reasonable amount, and they permanently increase the amount of, in this case, pistol ammo you can carry by 100. We go down to the assault rifle, and it increases it by 140. The sniper rifle is by 12, so all of these on the top 2 levels here. Yeah, and Marcus is going to chatter on. The top 6 will upgrade the amount of ammo you can carry for each weapon type, something we went over earlier. The bottom 4 are grenades, so how many grenades you can carry. As standard, I believe it's 3, then 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. Then there's backpack. This is how much stuff... Marcus, stop talking. How much stuff you can carry around with you, so extra weapons and items, very helpful. And then these two, which are blocked out, these are in fact shared across all of your characters. So this here is the bank. You'll notice on the right there it says 0 out of 50. I've got the maximum upgrade for that. I can put 50 different items in my bank. And the lost loot machine, which we saw earlier, can house 13 different items in it. Buy all of these things, and you get more loot, essentially. And yep, as Marcus says, buy this thing, hold more stuff. That is it. There is more of a ship, but most of it you don't really need to know for the beginner's guide. There's a little gambling area with Moxies over to the left, which I can show off very quickly. You can go inside this little bar, there's vending machines and the like, not going to worry about that. And downstairs, you know what, I will show downstairs just quickly. So, getting downstairs is very simple, except I'm going the wrong way. So yeah, let's actually go back to the starting point, just to make it even more clear, because even I'm getting confused. Okay, so there's the little fast travel point, literally walking straight forward from here. We'll send you down into the cargo bay, and head down to the right. You're off here, down the stairs, left-hand side. This is the Iridium store, with Crazy Earl, who you can buy trinkets and stuff from for Iridium, which you will earn lots of late in the game, but not much early on. This is all the cosmetic stuff you can buy here, and he's even got a vending machine with very fancy weapons, which cost Iridium. If you're just starting though, do not worry about this. This is something to worry about much later on. And that's going to be it for the quick tour of Sanctuary. The basic stuff is all really on the top level, and when you first come here you will get a bit of a tour at the start as well, but hopefully this just helps you navigate around a bit easier and work out where the important places to go are. Now, back over to pre-recorded Sarge for a very quick outro. And that is going to be all for this beginner's guide to Borderlands 3. Obviously, I couldn't cover absolutely everything in this video, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you found the video helpful, then please leave a like to let me know, and feel free to subscribe for more Borderlands 3 content in the future. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.